Hey there, www.andrewmarkmusic.com. Late night in the van, another informal chat on calendar conspiracy. I'll link a blog that I've had up for years that is ongoing on this subject, so anybody can reference that to get into the detail of the conspiracy of the 13-month, 28-day moon calendar. I'll give my thoughts on it at the end of this. But the calendar doesn't really work, and again, I'll get to it. Why? Again, go to my blog and do the research that you need to do to understand what I'm saying here. So after years and years of research on this issue, I believe that the most accurate calendar in antiquity was the Egyptian calendar, which was a 12-month, 365-day calendar with an extra month of 5 days added in. So in a way it was a 13-month, but for practical purposes it was a 12-month agricultural calendar based on their location and the star Sirius as it rose on the horizon at a certain time. And as it ushered in their agricultural spring in September. And the first month of their Egyptian calendar was called Thoth, and the astrological sign was Virgo. Thoth has associations with Christ, and Christ was born of a virgin. Haha, do you get it? Thoth, Virgo. Their seasons agriculturally in Egypt at that time, I believe it was 3-4 month seasons. Again, with the first month of the year in September called Thoth, and with the constellation Virgo. So let's flash forward to our calendar today, and the problem with it is there was a bit of shenanigans in Rome where they switched their new year to the new year, our new year to January based on their god Janus. But I believe this is neither here nor there per se. It's not some grand conspiracy. They had their reasons for doing it. It was what it was. It is what it is. Having said that, I do personally, as a personal, liver as a person living in the northern hemisphere, I like celebrating to the degree that I do the new year in the spring, at the March-April equinox from Pisces to Aquarius, because it just makes sense with my lived experience out in the woods, so that's where I think a proper placement should be had as a lived experience for people in the northern hemisphere. And of course, if people are living in the southern hemisphere, then they would want to celebrate their agricultural new year in September. So no great conspiracy here. The calendars are relative constructs based on location, agriculture, the technical ability of the people at whatever time they're at when it comes to astronomy. So their astronomical knowledge of their era. You're going to have different calendars based on all these different parameters. But I think the 365-day calendar that we use is an accurate reflection of the way the sun and the moon move around and synchronize from our perspective on Earth, and it lines up pretty well precisely with the most accurate calendar in antiquity, which was the Egyptian calendar. Obviously not the same because it doesn't have that 13 month, but close enough as far as the important things go. Now, on the 13-month, 28-day conspiracy calendar, look, I get it. But the math doesn't add up. Although, someone like Linda McCartney's family, the Eastwoods, they actually wanted to implement this 12-month, 28-day calendar. And if they had succeeded, I would have no problem with it. But, the agricultural seasons would go out of whack pretty quickly. But just as a general idea, I think it stabilizes some things, to have Friday the 13th, every Friday the 13th, and to have the full moon exactly. To me, those are cool things, and I get the math that the moon is lunar and it's tied into the menstrual cycle, and therefore tied into the goddess and the rising up of goddess worship again, which I'm in no way opposed to. What I'm saying is I'm not hostile to the idea. I get the math. There's I get how they get there, but the math is wrong when it comes to astronomy and how we keep time here. So I'm not saying this to be hostile to the people who hold this view of the conspiratorial calendar. As a Sethian Christian Gnostic, though, I don't think it's an accurate representation of the Sophia myth, right? It's wrong to place this calendar within that context. It's not accurate. Now, when I say wrong, I don't mean it's a moral issue. I mean incorrect. It's an incorrect association. But again, sentimentally, I understand it, and I have no quarrel with it. And if someone were to implement this calendar, I wouldn't fight against it. But that's the different issue is what is keeping time accurately from the perspective of Earth as it relates to the sun and the moon, how they interact with us. The things like the metonic cycle of the moon and all these things. It's the 365-day calendar that's the most accurate. Again, I appreciate the sentiment of trying to link Sophia to a 13-month calendar, but it's misguided as far as accuracy goes. But I hope this clarifies my view on this issue. Wouldn't want to believe incorrect things. And I hope it comes across, within the spirit of accuracy and decency. And, I don't mean to be pejorative to people who do hold an alternate view. I mean, what's not involved in this assessment here are things like the shape of the Earth and so. I'm just dealing right now with the actual calendar itself and the ideas surrounding this calendar on Conspiracy Lane. Okay, ciao.